Hi, child of God. I just want to make a quick video to come to you so that we can be aware of what is happening to us. And I've been there. That's why I'm excited, because it's just a common situation, but it's a situation where you find yourself yelling and screaming, not knowing that the enemy is actually pulling you away from God, away from the presence of God. And this happened when I was reading in Ephesians 6, verse 1, verse 11 and 12. Verses 11 and 12. Let's read. So Paul is saying, put on all of God armor so that you'll be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in the dark places, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. You know what? This verse is so important to know and to apply in our lives, because some situations can just come. They might just they might look normal, you know, and you just roll in them. You're like, oh, I'm going for this one, you know. You've been there. Me, I've always been there. Like, oh no, this shouldn't happen to me, you know. But not knowing that the enemy assignment at that moment is to take you out of the presence of God. You scream at that co-worker, at that worker. You scream at your neighbor. You scream at your children. You scream at your husband. You're like, why are you doing that to me? You know, please, let's recognize the battle. Let's recognize the words of the enemy. Amen. When that comes, calm down. Calm down. Recognize what the enemy is about to do at that moment is to take you out of the presence of God. So it says we wrestle not, you know. We are not fighting against flesh and blood. So, child of God, be aware of the strategy of the enemy. And one of them is to take you out of the presence of God through minor situations, life, normal circumstances. So, please make sure you understand this. When that time comes, just say, God, I know what the enemy wants to do, but I'm not going to feed him today. I'm going to shut that door, and he's going to stay behind the door, and I'm going to move forward in your presence. So watch out when that time comes. Amen.